So let's talk about mental health. So when I first got my bearded dragons, I was working for a pharmaceutical company. Terrible company. Like, it was bad. I was working by myself. I got passed up on opportunities for other jobs because they thought I was unsafe, because I was working in a lab by myself, which is usually very unsafe, but I have to have a job, so what am I supposed to do? It's kind of like, wasn't my choice. And so, I mean, I put in 50 to 60 hours a week. I worked midnight, 9 a.m. to midnight some days. It was ridiculous. So these reptiles I took in, I got, because I wanted something interesting. I wanted some fish tanks, but the fish were going to take longer than I wanted. So I got me some bearded dragons in them. And I've told this story in another video. But they had so much stress to your life. But I'm going to tell you right now, I mean, just yesterday, since it's been so much colder lately, they haven't been able to go out. And I was so excited to take them to the park. And so it's insane how important mental health is for us and them. Something that I learned with the emerald that passed away on me was not alert at all. I'll have a video where Pitch is very alert on what's happening, and she's not stressed to the point where it's like, oh man, like this is really bad for her. No, Pitch needs more stimuli. So understanding your individual dragon is super important, because he likes stimuli, calm, fancy, but he can often also get overwhelmed, which is not great. It's like, that's too much stress. He'll start freaking out, like, just like, oh my god. But no, that happens. Or Pitch, take her to Walmart's, she's whiter than she is freaking when she's in her enclosure. And that's a pretty nice enclosure. So, and that's what the windows are in the back. We think of stress as, oh, well, don't let your lizards get stressed out. Well, it might depend on the species and the individual. Because I'm sure there's some species that really do need to hide almost all the time. Maybe like crocodile skins and stuff to really feel comfortable. While bearded dragon, not so much. They may not see, he's actually seeing Hydra. And so he's about to get, his beard's maybe going black. And this is stimuli for him. Stress may seem like, oh, well, it's stress. Oh, yeah. If they have zero stress, then they probably have zero stimuli. They do go hand in hand. So understanding how much stress one can take. And they've proven in human beings that stress itself, if you get the right amount, if you get too much, then you can't really handle. See, he's saying, I'm the man, I'm the man. He's going to get darker here, and then it's going to drift down. So, stress in human beings, if you get too much, it's, you don't know how to handle it properly later on. If you get too little, you absolutely don't know how to handle it properly later on. It goes both ways. When you have just too much, your whole body wants to shut down. When you have too little, when it comes along, which it will, you just have no idea how to handle it. So you need that right amount of stress, and those are the ones who become probably the best leaders. See, he's becoming Blackbeard, and that's putting stress on Hydra, but yet it's stimuli. And stimuli is good for some points. Oftentimes when people just live in a box, they go nuts. This is almost no difference for these guys as well. You don't want them just to live in a box. Now, this is species to species. I find it incredibly interesting. My Peter Bandits actually do very well here. So you want to make sure that you're looking for how alert these guys are. Because that's positive right there. That means his mental capacity is not bad. He sees it, he sees something. He's not over aggressive, but he's responding to it. And that's not a bad thing. That made for a lot of people, well, that's terrible. It's terrible. They shouldn't see each other. That stresses them out. It also stimulates them. I don't want them just to hold in a box for the rest of their lives. And when I take them out, you'll see in this video later that there is no stress. That they don't seem stressed and they're sitting on top of each other in totes. Because there's other stimuli to keep them busy. And that's important to have the proper stimuli for mental health. And I mean, for me, because I was in such a terrible place. And even now that I'm in a better place, I still was so excited. My days feel longer, but not negatively longer. Not like, oh, my day, like, oh, it's taking forever. Oh. It's like, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna get out right now. Like, right now is the time where it's over 75 degrees, and we're gonna take them out, and we're gonna take them to the park. Oh yes, this is gonna be good. They're gonna love it. They'll just sit there and they'll just like, I'm just gonna soak in that sun. Just like, oh my God, I'm just gonna soak in that sun. I'm just gonna soak it in so much. I'm just gonna soak in that sun so much. Yes, I am. He's like, I'm just gonna soak in that sun so much. And to some people, it may seem weird. Why would a lizard be so helpful to your mental health? Because it's something that takes my mind away. And when I can feel that they're enjoying themselves, it creates a positive in my world because I love my animals. I just absolutely do. And so, and some people might go, well, the stress. Well, I would rather have them be in a little bit of danger and actually be mentally healthy, physically healthy, because my lighting system makes them work out. And so they're physically and mentally. That's why I put in the back of my enclosures actual acrylic. And so for me going, okay, we're going to see these guys go out here and they are going to be super happy with the lighting. They're not going to care that there's other beardies in the area because they're so not used to this. There's so much stimuli here. They're so alert to everything that's going on. How could they not be happy? So, seeing my animals respond is something that's important. Now, overstress is something to worry about. Overstress is something, it's stress that they cannot get away from. If it's stress that they can eventually get away from in a reasonable amount of time, it's fine. I put Fancy away now, so he's not as stressed, and Hydra's not as stressed. So, but yeah, now and Fancy knows Hydra's here. He knows it, and it has some impact on him. So it's just wonderful for my mental health. It makes me happy to recognize that my animals are getting something out of everything that they do. It's wonderful for me. I mean, these types of things can come from so many things. We don't fully understand what is going to be satisfying for somebody else's mental health. My brother was a huge part of my life as a child. So I recently picked up this. This is G1 Rodimus Prime. I remember a friend as a kid had this. This is awesome to me because I never had this as a child. Never could have had this as a child. So now I do. And this is remnants of me and my brother's childhood. To me, this right here brings back happy memories of my family. This types of things bring me mental health, positive stuff. I remember sitting with the man Shane. He was a kid our age, and his mom cut our hair and stuff. And we'd go over, my dad, mom would play cards with his dad and mom, and we'd go upstairs and eat all these really cool Transformers. And we'd watch the 1986 Transformers the movie. Haven't seen it? Best Transformer movie, even though it's a cartoon. Best Transformer movie ever made. And he had one of these. So I remember playing with it. And in my mind, this is an amazing toy. This was amazing. It's god awful. Like it's terrible by today's standards. But I have nothing but positive memories. And I don't have as many positive memories lately since I moved away from my family. I moved from southwest Missouri over 5 hours away to St. Louis, which I had originally moved 3 hours away to Kansas City. Now it's even worse. So now something like this just takes me back and just makes me wonder. But it can also cause misconceptions that my childhood may have been better than it was. And that's okay to some extent. My childhood wasn't bad. It wasn't. But having labeled with learning disabilities and stuff, it created issues. So, looking at the world now, understanding that my Beardies, my Emeralds, my Peter Bandits, they are a part of my life. They are my family. I don't have the family that everybody else has. So this is a positive to me. And it's so good for my mental health. And I didn't even realize how much good it was affecting my mental health. Even the nights that I couldn't sleep because I was worried Pitch was going to eat a lightning bug like Spike might have and died. Spike died, possibly from eating a lightning bug. Pitch, a whole week of almost no sleep because I was so worried about her. And I fixed that problem. The actual in the background here, that right there caused me PTSD when Spike died. I got cameras so I can see them during the day. Because when I went to work and I came home, like if I stayed late at work at the pharmaceutical company, and it would just be like, oh my God, wonder if Pitch is dead. So those cameras, oh man, they just held me together. Whenever I'd start feeling that way, before I would break down and cry, I would just turn on my phone and look at them in the camera and go, okay, they're good, we're good. I can work now, I can move. This picture of Spike looking at me while I was messing with one of my fish tanks, he's alert. He's very much alert, and this is a very big sign of alert. And I miss him so much. How alert she is says a ton. You can just see it in her eyes. It may not seem like much, but you can kind of see where you're like, oh yeah, no, he's moving around. Her alertness isn't really as, I don't know, it's not as filmable as I was hoping. But she's still very alert, very knowing what's going on. And she's a little bit more exceptional than other dragons when it comes to being alert. Hey Mambo Italiana, hey Mambo Italiana. I got that song stuck in my head. But yeah, she's very alert. She wants to communicate with me. Yeah, there you go. This is my skink Alert, and he is named because look at that on his face. He is alert. He is aware of everything I'm doing. Usually when I walk into a room, he pokes his head out and he's alert. He's gonna get me some bugs. If you're not, I'm gonna watch you. I'm gonna see what's going on. I'm very alert. That's why he's named Alert. I often talk about how special Pitch is. Well, this is Pitch in the car, and she is just loving looking outside. Calm Fancy's here in the middle, and Hydra's at the bottom. Both of them can get overwhelmed, and so they're probably pretty happy not to be on the top. Whereas Pitch is here going, no, I'm pretty happy. I'm just chilled. Like, this is cool. Like, I'm having fun. You know, there's no stress here. They're taking in the sun and watching me, and that's all their concern is, because they know that I'm the one that brings them. They have no concern with any of the others. They're just at peace getting some sun. Now, I don't keep snakes, but I have seen them at the zoo and how active they can get at some point in time. I would personally love to understand more about the alertness and mental health of snakes. Because the lizards I can get, and I think that's why I gravitate towards lizards. Because it's just more exciting for me. This is Kelly here. And there's more in those eyes in a lizard than there is most snakes that I see. But I would love to hear from the audience and see if I can understand that better. Please let me know how helpful this was. Please like, subscribe, and share. That way we can get this to more people. Thank you.